You're probably wondering whether some books are dangerous. Books on the occult written by strange authors in which, in popular rumor, these books are very dangerous.
Gates is the kingdom of shadows.
They're familiar with it.
Yes, Venice, 1666. The author and printer Aristide Torchi was burned by the Holy Inquisition, together with all his works. Only 3 copies survived.
One.
Catalog lists 3 copies surviving in private ownership. Fargus, the Kessler, and the Delpher.
It's true. You know your business, but you're mistaken nonetheless. According to my own research, only one is authentic.
Silence is golden.
Precisely. Ever heard of the Della Melanco?
I've heard of it, yes. It's a myth, isn't it? A book reputed to have been written by Satan himself.
No myth. That book existed. Torchi actually acquired it. The engravings you're now admiring were adapted by Torchi from the Della Melanco. They form a kind of satanic riddle. Correctly interpreted with the aid of the original text and sufficient inside information, they're reputed to conjure up the Prince of Darkness in person.
You don't say.
Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. For many years, I've been reading literature about anything having to do with the paranormal, the occult, and so on. And I heard about certain books that are very dangerous. Occultic books written by people in which, according to popular rumor, that if you were to utter words out from it or read it without being careful, that you could actually summon malevolent spirits or some kind of bad energy that you could actually attract or whatever like that. Now, whether or not that's true is really open to debate. I myself believe there's actually a possibility that something like that could actually happen. It depends on the book. It depends on the author. It depends on what kind of books that you actually are reading. For example, the Goetia is one. The Necronomicon, that's another book which I know that's known to be extremely dangerous. The Necronomicon. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm sorry. And because from what I understand, from what I heard about it, that particular book has a lot to do with ancient Babylonian, possibly something else, Assyrian or whatever like that. I'm not really quite sure. But a lot of it has to do with certain type of alien gods or something like that that are very malevolent, as well as the so-called, they're not demons. Actually what I would call them, but it's something else. But everybody has their own point of view. And there's also other books, like, for example, The Magus by Francis Barrett. It's a very interesting book, and from what I heard, even if you were to look it up, saying that you got to be very careful when you actually do these type of rituals, because if you're not prepared for it, or if you don't do anything correctly, whatever you summon could actually take you over, or any number of bad things could happen. So you really have to know what you're doing. And there's another book, the Leamington, I forget what it's called, The Greater Key of Solomon or The Lesser Key of Solomon. That's another one. And this has to do with the so-called entities or spirits that King Solomon summoned with his magic ring. And he had them as his like worker slaves that built his temple, according to the folklore. Now, there's also other books like I don't remember the name of it right now off the top of my head, but I know that it's supposed to be a very dangerous book. I do believe that there's a possibility of occult books that are very dangerous, or they call them grimoires. That's another one too. Spell books. Now, I don't know if anybody who's ever actually read any kind of occult books that actually summoned anything or scary things happened, where they felt like some kind of something in the room watching them, or their house being haunted or anything like that. I don't know if anybody who's actually experienced that, but I did hear of someone that I know that was a relative of mine that when he was much younger, in his 20s or something like that, that he actually either bought a book or got this book, however, and it was on the occult, and it had to do with some kind of a demonic kind of thing, whatever. He was actually reading it, and he made the mistake of uttering some words out loud from this particular passage or page of that he was reading this particular spell. He just pretty much just read some of the words out loud, trying to pronounce them and this and that. And he foolishly just wasn't prepared for what I guess what he was what was gonna happen. So when he did that, he had trouble being by himself at night. That things would be moving around in the room. He would hear things. He felt that some like more than one type of like there was people or something that was actually watching him while he was trying to sleep, standing by the edge of his bed. And he got so frightening that he actually ended up just having to stay at certain bars all night, and then or stay over a friend's house and things like that, until he finally just got rid of the book. He just got rid of it, and then of course he was religious too, in a sense, even though it was pretty stupid what he did. And then after a while, it took a while for him for all that negative energy to pretty much go away. And that's the only thing I pretty much know. I don't know if anyone else who, like I said, if there's any kind of, if there's anybody out there who could actually relate to something like this, who knows about books that are very extremely dangerous, and people who either read some books out, read some certain incantations out loud, or did some sort of spell and something just went wrong, you know, feel free to drop a comment. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Questions or comments, you know what to do. And to all of you, take care.